So looking at other videos of us passing the close guard, you'll notice a theme or a trend of us using our body, right, as wedges, using our body as staples. Very common staples that we have are our shins or our forearms to be able to pin something to the mat. For this pass that we're going to look at, it's a variation of what's called a Sao Paulo Pass. It is a pass of the close guard. We're going to be actually be using our hips and our chest to help us pin and isolate one of my guard player's legs, which is going to ultimately help me pass the close guard. So in this position right here, right, when I'm in the close guard, there are times where that I like to actually drop my chest and drop my level right here. So in combat sports, right, the winner is generally the person that can manage distance the best. So there are distances that we can be playing out whether my chest is all the way up. I typically don't want to hang out in this middle distance here because you can see how my lapels start to open up, right? My neck is closer to his arms, right? My neck is closer to the hips. It's easier for him to shoot triangles and such because I'm just closer to him. So I should either be playing way far out or I should be playing all the way down here. See how now I'm using my chest to help control Ian's hips, right? If I can bring this all the way down to here, he can't shoot the triangle anymore, right? It's hard for him to move his hips left and right, to rotate around me at all. So what that allows me to do is as long as I have my head down, my elbows tight on this side, I'm looking at grip fighting, right? First working at that bicep, keeping it nice and framed away. So what happens here, if I try and control the wrist, right, and there's this game and he can circle his hand, he can pull it out, it's hard for me to control this wrist. But if I work at the bicep first, right, now I'm reducing some of his range of motion, right? If we grip fight from here, he can only go so many directions, right? And as I start to see that hand go close to the mat again, that's when I'm going to start sliding it down to the wrist. So now that I have that wrist, I don't focus on pinning it to the mat and keeping control of it, right? I focus on just following. So as he tries to break that grip, right, I'm always just following. Well, what my goal is see how he can only really move in this direction all the way out and all the way in. So as he moves it out, I'm framing. As he moves it in, I bring it in. I find that rhythm. Once I have that rhythm on the way back in, I'm going to be making sure that I'm dropping my shoulder. I want to be on my toes so I can lift my hips to the sky. You see how his guard is locked around my hips, so his hips follow. So he's coming in. As this hand is coming in, my shoulder's down, I'm lifting his hips. I'm going to be transferring that grip to that backside. So now I have taken away one of his tools on this side. Once I've taken that away, now I want to be focused on getting this leg to the mat. So with my shoulder still down, notice how I'm going to be walking myself right close to that leg. Keep that going close. There you go, right? So see how I've changed the angle, right, of that guard right there. Back. When I'm in front of him, right, his guard is closed behind me. My goal is to get this hip and this knee on the mat. So keeping nice and tight, walking, 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 walking. Once I have the knee and the hip parallel, once I have that parallel right here, I can start working in my wedge. Now from here, I'm going to switch my base. So my right leg is going to shoot through. As I do that, I'm stapling here to open that guard. I'm still controlling that ankle. Now from here, with that staple, I can start to posture and bring my leg over. It's like a little long step. All right. Once I open, I can scissor. I can come over the top for a knee cut. Right. I still have that grip, and I'm going to move those legs by walking the hips back. Once I'm in my pass position, then I can choose, right, to let go. So one more time. The timing here is important of this grip. If I'm unable to kind of win this grip fight or even here, right, I need to be feeling the 1, right, that 2, pick up the hips, feed it, bring it back down. Immediately walking. So I'm walking first with that goal of getting his knee to the ground or getting it parallel to the mat. Now when I scissor, that's when I'm going to push. So scissor and frame here to help us open. One more scissor. We can come over the top, or you guys can take that knee cut variation as well.